What's up everyone, Ben here again with another video for Fluent in Finance, the channel dedicated to helping you take control of your personal finances. And today we're going to be talking about secured credit cards. So secured credit cards are typically for people who are trying to build their credit score. Maybe you just turned 18 and you're applying for your first credit card, or maybe you've already had some credit for a while but you've ruined it. Maybe you had some late payments, bankruptcies, repossessions. Whatever life threw at you, a secured credit card is a way to begin to improve your score and get back on the right track. So let's see how that works. So what's the difference between a secured credit card versus a normal credit card? Well, you see, when you apply for a secured credit card, since the credit card companies don't really know if you're going to pay them back or not, they require an upfront security deposit before they will give you their credit card. Now this can cost you anywhere from $200 to $1,000 upfront, depending on which card you get. And in return, the credit card company will send you a credit card, typically with a credit limit equal to the amount that you put up for your security deposit. This money is held by the credit card company as collateral, just in case you go into default and don't pay your bills like you're supposed to. Now it's important to note that you still have to pay your bills every month. So let's say that you initially have to give this credit card company $500 to set up your account. And then they send you a credit card with a $500 credit limit. And let's just say that you go out to lunch and you spend $10. So at the end of the month, you're going to get a bill statement from your card company for $10. And you still have to pay that. They're not just going to take that $10 out of your deposit of your $500. Well, I mean, they will, but only if you just outright refuse to pay them. So in this case, you would still have to send them a check in the mail for $10 at the end of the month. That $500 will stay in as a deposit. Now that money that you sent them to initially set up your account, that is still your money, and you will get it back if at some point in the future you decide to cancel that particular credit card, or you are able to upgrade that card to a non-secured version of it, which is typically allowed after about a year or so of making payments on time as you're supposed to. So what makes a good secured credit card? Well, the first thing that you want to look for is to make sure that whichever company you're using allows you to set up automatic bill payments. Now, most unsecured credit cards offer this automatic bill pay by default. However, it's important to note that not all secured companies offer this feature, and that's why it's very important to make sure that it actually allows for automatic bill pay. You see, life happens, and sometimes you forget that you have a bill coming due. And the last thing that you want to do when you're trying to actually build your credit score is to miss a payment or be late on a payment and then hurt your credit score for a very long time. The next thing that you're going to want to look for in a secured credit card is one that charges no or minimum fees. Now, some secured credit cards charge an annual fee, which is basically just a fee that you have to pay each and every year just for the privilege of having their credit card. This is important because unlike high interest rates that your card may charge you, which can be completely avoided as long as you pay your bill in full on time every time, an annual fee cannot be avoided if your credit card company charges you one. And the last thing that you're going to want to look for is you're going to want a secure credit card that offers you to upgrade that card after a certain amount of time to an unsecured version of that card. Now this can happen at different times, maybe 6 months or 12 months after paying your bills, they will allow you to upgrade this card. And that's important because once it is upgraded to an unsecured credit card, you will get that initial deposit back. That $200 or $500 or $1,000 that you had to give to your company in order for them to establish this credit card for you. And some things that sound really amazing in these credit cards, but actually isn't all that great, is things like cashback rewards. Now, with a normal credit card, once you've established your credit and you're able to pick and choose the specific credit card that you're interested in that will maximize your rewards, then these rewards can become fairly significant over time. However, a 1% cashback is terrible, and with a $500 spending limit, you're not going to get much benefit out of this. The most that you could potentially get if you maxed out your credit card every month, which don't do that, by the way, especially if you're trying to build your credit score. But for the purposes of cashback, if you maxed it out at $500 every month, that means you're only getting about $5 back in cashback. You see, the problem is that these cards that offer the cashback rewards for secured credit cards typically charge you a lot of fees or higher interest rates. So save the cashback rewards for later when you're able to get a unsecured credit card. So what are my top picks for a secured credit card? The Citi Secure MasterCard is my #1 choice for the best secured credit card. The credit limit for this card is equal to your deposit, which can range from $200 to $2,500, just depends on how much money that you want to initially give them. The card charges roughly 25% APR as interest, but it does not charge any annual fees. So what makes this particular card so great? Well, this is one of the cards that allows for online pay, automatic bill pay, and gentle reminders when your payment is actually due. And these reminders can help you stay on track and not miss payments so that you can be sure to actually improve your credit score instead of hurt your score. Another strong contender for a top secured credit card is the Capital One Secured MasterCard. Now this card is one of the few cards that offers a higher initial credit limit than your initial deposit. You see, after being approved for this card, you're going to make an initial deposit of at least $49, and then they will give you a credit limit of at least $200. Now you can put in more money for your initial deposit, and then they will also increase your limit accordingly. This card does charge a little higher interest rate at roughly 27%, but it does have no annual fee. And the last card that I'm going to mention today is the Open Sky Visa Secured Credit Card. Now this card does lose several cool points due to it charging a $35 annual fee. However, this card does charge lower interest than the other two cards at roughly 19% interest rate. Additionally, the credit limit for this card ranges between $200 and $3,000 depending on your initial deposit. So if this card has an annual fee, then why is it ranking in the top credit cards to get? Well, you see, the nice thing about this particular card is they don't run a credit check for you at all. And that's important because that means no matter how terrible your credit score is, you will be approved for this credit card. And if you can't be turned down for this credit card, then what are you waiting for? Get out there and start rebuilding your credit score. You see, like it or not, your credit score is very important. It's more than just applying for a loan. You see, many different people will pull your credit score. Some employers, for job purposes, will pull your score. If you decide to rent, your landlord is definitely going to want to know what your credit score is. If you're trying to buy a house or a car, even insurance companies can use your credit score to determine if they would like to insure you or at what cost they will insure you. Now, it doesn't really matter which credit card you decide to ultimately get. The important thing here is that you are taking active steps in order to improve that credit score. So that's all we have for today. That's our rundown on the top secured credit cards for 2020. If you like this video, then be sure to subscribe and leave a comment down below. I'll also leave links below for all of the cards mentioned in this program. These are not affiliate links or anything like that. I don't get paid for this. This is just the cards that I think are going to be the most beneficial for you.